I know in our last conversation we was talking about our goal setting process and all of that good stuff.
Hmm.
And I figure a good follow up to be a good follow up from that would be talking about disruption
Okay.
and how disruption and friction pretty much always come after you set your goals and your intention.
Absolutely.
And so I know like right now, we're in these beginning phases of really like executing on some of the things that we're working toward.
Hmm.
And something I've been thinking about is like knowing when you get that much more intentional about what you're doing and what you're working on and stuff,
Hmm.
thinking about now proactively, how am I or how are we going to overcome those things that try to throw us off track as we're working towards, our goals.
Hmm.
So yeah, I've been thinking on that heavy lately.
Yeah, I think we have a very fire track record of overcoming any type of resistance.
Hmm.
And I think what's dope about it is we have shortened the gap as to how heavily it can impact us.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So like before, I feel like when we would be hit with resistance, it would be so hard for us to like push back and push through. And like it'll take us maybe a couple weeks or months or so. And then it went down to maybe a week or so.
Yeah.
And then it went down to, okay, give me like 10 minutes to talk to myself or us have a conversation and we good.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think like the more you practice doing, setting certain goals and being met with resistance, I think you just get used to that being the nature of the journey. So you overcome it faster.
I agree with that heavily.
Yeah.
And what's interesting with that is it don't suck any less.
That's a fact. That's a fact. It still sucks.
Like when resistance shows up, it's like you only have the mindset that you need to keep going, but it don't make it any less difficult.
Right.
It don't make it any less, impactful, annoying.
Oh, God.
Because like for me, when resistance shows up, anytime after you set a goal or we set goals, it always go to that mindset, man. Like my mind be on some, what if this time, it doesn't work out, or overthinking, overanalyzing and all of those things. And so what I think is great for me is that as I'm working towards, doing more content, being better in some of the things that I'm sharing and I'm producing, cutting out all of the noise.
Okay.
So that means consuming other content. That means, being very intentional about what I allow in. Even though most of the stuff I listen to is personal development and creative and things like that, it can still in your mind get twisted and become comparison. It can become, you thinking that you should be further along or what you're doing and how we're going about something may not be the best way, or you should pivot and shift, and it just starts getting you confused. And even though it may sound good, that confusion is the enemy. Like it's the resistance. It's the friction trying to throw you off. And so for me, I know it's really, really important right now for me to be quiet. Like to quiet the stuff that I allow in and just head down and work. And the only things that I let in, be it things that allow me to push past resistance and my own self-doubt, limiting belief, self-sabotage, not as productive, or disruptive patterns that I've had before, and move through that resistance way faster this time. And to piggyback off of what I'm just saying there, because I just thought about something else. I was about to shift.
Go ahead. Let it flow.
What's so dope is like we've been so consistent in, our posting with our content and things like that lately, that knowing that the work still has to be done and that we've been consistent so long, and that now what started off as us, just doing something for like 30 or 60 days. And we like, here we are, 4 months in or so. And like now it just got easy. That allows me to be able to overcome resistance now also, because we've conditioned ourselves to consistency.
That part.
So now it's like, it could show up and make me think whatever it want to or whatever, but I still got to put this post up. I still got to work on, these content pieces or the things, you know, that I'm working on creatively for me anyway. Like the work still got to get done.
Yeah.
So it allows me to be able to overcome those things way faster.
Yes.
Because I still got to do the work. And that's the gift of consistency.
It is. That's good. That's a really good example.
Yeah. So I thought about that right before I was about to swing that thing back over to you.
Oh. Yeah, that's good though.
Yeah. How do you typically deal with resistance when it comes, or what's typically your biggest form of resistance?
Biggest form of resistance.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it comes to me from many different angles, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say my biggest level of resistance right now, or resistance thing right now, is like self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I think that kind of gets in the way of me doing the things that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's one of those mental battles, like you against you in your mind, trying to push yourself to do something that you may have never done before. So it's important for me to keep a track record of what we've done and what I've done in order to get us to where we are right now. So it's like, this ain't no different. Like, it might look different, but it ain't no different than anything we've gone through before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Sure, it's hard, but we can still push through, you know?
Yeah.
So just being able to have that track record of doing so many things, overcoming so many things, it just helps me be able to fight that demon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It allows you to be able to just power through it a whole lot faster. So that way it's not as strong a resistance as it used to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think the dope thing about that is that we've gotten to a point now to where we know the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like when you set a goal, something's going to show up. It's like, man, when mothers be going on diets and different things like that, and the first thing that happen, somebody make some food or bring something around.
Somebody having a barbecue.
Invite you somewhere. It's a damn potluck at work or something like that.
Right.
It's like every time you set your intention, something shows up. It's like that initial test, like, say, hey, like, do you actually want this thing?
How serious are you about this?
How serious are you about it?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's such a normal thing. But like now, we've gotten into this space, like you said, where we've gotten this track record of just powering through it to where we know that, you know, when these things show up, like me, I know I've told you plenty of times, like when I've started to get in my head, I'm like, all right, I'm going to do what I got to do today. And some days it's like, I might not be as creative or feeling as inspired or motivated, but I also know that I can lean on my disciplines and my consistencies and continue to do the thing. And like chunk this day up is like, hey, you know, it was just one of them days.
Right.
Like mentally, I wasn't there.
Right.
But the work still got done.
Listen, it's far more painful to feel, how am I trying to say this? It's less painful to do the work, but it's more painful to know that you didn't do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? When you know you should have been doing it. For me, like, knowing, when we wrote our goals yesterday, was it yesterday?
Whatever day.
Yeah, yesterday, whatever day we wrote our goals, we made a template, and it was about, a part of it was to make it really, really painful, as like, if you don't change right now, if you stay exactly how you are right now,
if nothing changes,
if nothing changes, what would your life look like and all that stuff, and like how you would regret everything, you wouldn't be happy and all this stuff. I think even in that, it's like, I rather feel the difficulty of going through it. I rather feel the grunt work of that, because I know if I don't do it, how I talk to myself when I don't do it.
Yeah.
I know how like that self-doubt can really creep in even the more, the self-sabotage even the more. And then you start having like negative thoughts about yourself based on you knowing that you should have done the thing. So it's like the battle is really in your mind regardless, whether you do it or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, which demon would you rather fight first? Like just doing the work or the thoughts in your mind?
Your own regrets.
Yes.
Looking back at yourself and being like, man, I didn't take advantage of the opportunity.
Right. Right.
Yeah, man, that's just too much.
Yeah.
Man, I heard Uncle Myron, he said something so hard the other day, and he said that I would never let doubt talk me out of something I created in faith. And it wasn't exactly like that. He said, or out of an intention I set in faith. Ooh, let me run the whole
Come on,
thing
run
back.
it back.
He said,
Come on.
I would never let doubt talk me out of an intention that I set in faith.
Ooh,
That marinate for a second.
that's really good.
Ain't it though? Because how often do we allow our doubts and our fears to talk us out of things that we created in complete faith? Especially when we know what to do.
Right.
Or what we're capable of and our ability to figure it out in the process. And knowing that all we had to do was what we set our intention to in the first place, the plan,
Right.
like follow it.
Right.
But we let that little monster on the shoulder, the little devil on the shoulder talk us out of it.
Oh, that's good. That's a beautiful quote. I'm gonna write that down. I need to listen to the episode.
Honestly, it was just a clip.
It was a clip.
Yeah, ain't no telling, man, if those coaching or, you know, actual video. I don't know. But, man, when he said it, I was like, oh, hold up. Let it simmer for a second. Let this sit there.
I'm always so curious as to why and I might be taking this left, but why our doubts are so strong or so loud.
I got an idea. Okay. So, I think it's because of the human condition, man. And what I mean by that is, even when we're kids, we don't take our word as seriously. We don't take the things that we say as seriously. And then we grow up and we become teenagers and adults and we don't take our words as seriously. And so, being the humans that we are, the imperfect creatures that we are, we make promises. We tell white lies. We say that we're going to do things that we end up not doing. And we don't think about it as being anything, but at the same time, it's creating a reputation that we have with ourselves.
Oof.
And so we think it means nothing until the time where it means everything. And so in those moments when we need the faith, we got this extensive like track record of lying ourselves. And we don't think about the individual lies, but we do know for sure that we've said things to ourselves before that we didn't come through with. We've said things before jokingly and lied to ourselves, lied to other people. And those things stay with us long after.
Yeah.
You know, we feel like we physically or mentally moved on from them. Like the seed planted there, like stays with you.
Right.
Until you get to a point later on in life, if you ever get to it, to where you learn how to like overcome that. But I think that's why doubt is like so strong in our minds, man, like in our spirits. Like it just, because we don't take our word seriously early enough.
That's good. That was a really good explanation.
That's my own thoughts, though.
No, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why we struggle with doubt. I think that's why so many of us struggle with confidence. It's like Uncle Myron said something else. He said, you've heard every lie you ever told yourself.
I was literally going to say that.
You've heard every single one.
It's true.
And again, we don't realize how important it is until the moments where we need our faith more than anything, or the moments where our doubts are so freaking loud.
Right.
And all we remember, man, is just all the times that we didn't come through.
That's good.
Yeah. And that is resistance.
Yes.
And we get to this point in our adulthood where we have to learn how to like overpower that.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's harder. But what ends up happening is you have to make up in your mind, raise your own standards, your own self-respect, and start to look at yourself as somebody who keeps their word. And you have to rebuild that track record of experiences to where you've kept your word to yourself, which is why self-awareness, self-respect, and keeping your word and not cheating and not doing all these things where you're lying to people and lying to yourself is why it's so important. And we don't think about it in the present. We always think about like, hey, that's future me's problem. You know what I mean? Like, I'll deal with that when I get to it. Not realizing the weight of everything that you've built in the past that you're carrying with you into that future. And we just don't take it seriously enough, man, until we start to build up those experiences over time to where we've kept our word to ourselves. And it takes longer than we expect.
Right.
Way longer than we expect.
Yeah. That's good, baby. It's really good.
I appreciate you, boo.
I appreciate you.
Sometimes my words will word.
Listen, your words word all the time. You were blessed with a gift of...
I'm learning to get better with it, and I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have. You have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I take that. Yeah, I'm trying to teach myself, man, to speak slower.
Well, I can tell, and it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to teach myself that, and like to really let my thoughts come out like fully in my mind before I start to go off. Because I have moments where I misspeak, and it be just like, ugh, you just took all of everything you said before, like out of whatever that moment could have been. And just trying to get better, man. One day, one step at a time.
Yeah, I love watching you practice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You don't be knowing when I'm practicing.
You're always practicing.
That's facts.
I know.
Anyway, she taking it somewhere else, man. But that's it, man. Like, talking about resistance, overcoming that resistance. Because anytime you set your goals and you set your intentions, like, something is coming. That test is coming. That thing that's trying to throw you off, snatch up your focus, whatever, like, it's coming.
Absolutely.
And it's not meant to break you or to tear you down. It's like that test. And you got to be willing to overcome it. And I think it's actually a gift if you change your perspective, because it gives you the opportunity to know that resistance can show up, friction can show up, like, and attempt to throw you off. And when you overcome it, it allows you to take on that identity of knowing that, like, hey, I can't be stopped when something tries to throw me off.
Right.
And that's the same energy you want to take into your personal goals, your marriage, because life is still going to be life. And anytime you set goals in your marriage, whatever it is, like, take that with you everywhere.
Right.
It's coming. Winter is coming. Something is trying to throw you off anytime you set your intentions, and you just got to be ready for it. So when it shows up, let it be a sign to keep going.
Yeah. And you'll be so proud that you pushed through.
Exactly.
Like, so freaking proud.
And that's what a transformation is.
Yeah.
How proud you are of yourself when you push through anyway.
And all of that compounds on each other. And then you have more confidence. Then you can trust yourself more. Then you can... What are you doing?
Yes.
But yeah, you just build a better reputation with yourself when you start making those compound movements.
Doing that thing over time. And when you look back at yourself, you be like, yeah, I'm this type of person. And it ain't a lie. Like, it's real.
Yeah.
Like, you've actually done that.
Yeah.
And
the fact that you got the proof, and you don't have to come up and make up some affirmations to tell you that you are certain ways. Like, no, I really am that. Yeah. I did that. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the proof.
And here's the proof. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you ain't got to be affirming stuff that ain't actually true.
Like, you did it.
Yeah, like, no, I can prove this. I am this type of person. And you don't become the type of person you desire to be by sitting over here, shouting affirmations. Like, you do it by becoming, by doing the work, and making it real. Yeah, man. So do the damn thing.
Do the damn thing.
That's it, man. Hey, we hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, because we definitely enjoyed making it. My name is John Tron. This is my beautiful queen,
Adoria.
And we are One Dope Couple. And until next time, family, peace and love.